Could this be the best Double Dragon game of all the Double Dragon games? It's hard to say otherwise. I mean, I'm nostalgic for the first one, but I think the second one is better. How are you feeling? John Riggs here, doing some open cart surgery. This game was gifted to me not working. I almost said not broken, good lord. And we're going to try to get it working again by usually cleaning it, maybe something with a soldering iron, we'll see. And I don't have a tech background or engineering degree. I just do these things I've been doing since like the 90s to get these games working again. Now the NES is my favorite. NES is any best. However, I've done, you know, I've looked at Game Boy and Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 and stuff like that too, but for the most part I've noticed most people hand me NES games, which I'm cool with. I'm just gonna open it up here before I put it into the system to see if it's even working. Now, I already popped it in there. It's not working, but let's open it up here. Now I'm just going to open it up first because, you know, why not? Looks kind of dirty. Not bad, though. It's usually the first thing I look at is like, well, if the pins are super dirty, you know, maybe that's the problem. But these look pretty good. You can see the capacitor is not like bulging or exploded or anything like that. Look at the backside, too. So we'll try the 1-up card first. It's just a cleaning thing. I use these anytime. This is actually a pretty dirty one. I can get a better one. It'll still work, but... you know, maybe I don't want to grab another one. So the 1-up card has a fluid side and a dry side, and they're fit like this, flat, so you can put it in their game without having to open it up. And this is a me version. I use these as business cards, believe it or not, when I'm at like conventions sometimes, not always, but I might bring a few just in case somebody asks. But you can purchase these just through my Amazon affiliate link in the description below. This is not my card, but it does have my face on it, if that makes sense. I'm just happy to share the love. So we'll put the fluid, and the fluid is just rubbing alcohol, really. We'll try this first. Just a little fluid on the fluid side, you know, and hopefully this is all it needs. If not, we'll, you know, plan B, plan C. We'll see what we can. We'll do what we can. I haven't had a win in a while, so I'm looking forward to winning. This doesn't look great, but we're going to pop it in just like this. Oh, and if you dig this shirt, I have more too. It's from Into the AM. Check out a link in the description. That'll take you where you need to go. This video is actually not even sponsored or endorsed by Into the AM, but they did sponsor a video earlier. So I was like, well, I'm already wearing the shirt. So I was like, well, give a free bonus shout out. How about that? They're always running sales, and I've noticed more and more people at conventions wearing these Into the AM shirts. So wouldn't mind doing another video from them. Those guys always got cool stuff going on. Okay. Doop. Let's see it. Nope. All right, Bright Boy it is. What is Bright Boy, you ask? Well, it is this. It is a metal polisher. That's what I like to use in lieu of Brasso. Now, I've never had a game not work because of Brasso. However, you know, but it's you know, still a brass polisher, but it just seems to work better and cleaner, if that makes sense. You know, let's be honest, I have had games work because I used Brasso. At least, you know, it wasn't working, I used Brasso, then it worked. But this doesn't leave that weird kind of residue that Brasso does. And especially even if you can't see it, but then it congeals later, you use Brasso and you don't clean it up properly and you put it back into your console and then the gunk gets soaked, like, you know, into the pins and all that of your system. That's not good. That's why they're like, no, Brasso bad. Woo! Brasso bad. And even though I'm using the dry side of the Q-tip now because I want to remove any excess stuff that was on there. You know, it looks super dirty. It's also because it's removing probably the slightest layer of, you know, pin. So you can see that, you know, that down there, that up there, yeah. Gross, kind sir. That's gross, yo gross. Hitting up a bunch of conventions later on this year too. I don't need to mention them all right now, but Renton City Retro in May. At the end of May, Comic Palooza in Houston. I'm planning on attending that one. Slated for Mo Game Con in St. Louis at the end of July, then Long Island second week of August, and then October you're looking at Retro Game Con in Syracuse, probably Portland Retro Gaming Expo, because I always go to that when I can drive there. And Really Rad Weekend in Florida, that's in November, and there's probably more conventions on the way, but those are the ones I'm confirmed for. And I really hope to get this game working, because I worked on another Double Dragon 2 recently, where he wanted the game back, and admittedly I still have it here. If I can get this working, I'll just send it working. I'll send this one back instead, along with the other one. And where is it? There it is. You can pop it in. Come on. Just like, there we go. Get it going anyway. Why don't you want to work? Why wouldn't you want to work? All right, solder. I want to solder the points. We'll give it a shot. In this Double Dragon 2, seems to be an MMC3 game. This is that MMC chip that lets you do parallax scrolling and all that. So all the best buff Nintendo games like Mario 3, a bunch of them like that, are going to be this MMC3 style. And you have these two chips here, so I'm going to do both of them. I can show you here. This is like, character RAM, CHR, this is the PRG. Character, this is like games graphics, PRG is like the games programming. Not that it matters. I'm going to just touch up every pin that those include. And this is a hot soldering iron here. And all I'm really doing, letting it melt, let it reform. Let it melt, let it form, let it melt, let it form. Heard some great jokes recently. Bear walks into a bar. Bartender says, "What do you have?" And he says, "I'll have a rum and Coke." Bartender says, "Why the big pause?" He's like, "Oh, I was born with them." And sometimes it's just kind of fun to see. A little hypnotizing, kind of like looking at a lava lamp or a campfire. Just to touch it, and you can just see it just come to life. It's like Andy left the room, the toys come out and play. You just touch the hot solder. This one's a little harder to get to here, one of the grounding ones here. You just touch the hot solder, and you just gotta see it. And you can feel it too. You just like does that and just melts just enough. Makes it for a beautiful thing. This is all I'm doing. That's it. Just a little touch, a little touche, if you will, for Double Dragon 2. I'd like to get this game working again. Here's hoping. Ooh! That's why you need to use actual tools and not hold it with your fingers like I do. Do as I say, not as I do. Be safe to yourself. I want to come out with a children's album someday. I don't know when. But someday. Just like all the other children's songs. Be safe to yourself. Okay. Don't use Brasso. Okay. Do you like the sign over here? I haven't put the game in there, but do you like to sign here, the How You Feeling sign? My buddy Rock Solid Productions, Gary, makes those, and he made that for me at a recent Midwest Gaming Classic. So I was like, oh, thank you, man. I'll feature it in a few videos. You can check out his link in the description. Maybe grab something for yourself. All right, why don't I wait? I want to turn that on, then pop it in. Here we go. Turn it on. Now I'll turn it on. And still nothing. I don't have a clue. Maybe a board swap, but again, it's a TL-ROM, and I don't want to ruin a TL-ROM just yet. So I'll put this aside for now. And I'll have a look later. That's alright. Thank you for watching all the same. Well, we'll have a success here sooner than later, I promise.